What's going on, guys? Thought I would do a little rambling chit chat video. So if you don't want to just hear me talk all over the place about things and stuff, go ahead and click off, because that's all this one's going to be. So we got a fresh cup, nice and steaming hot. I don't know if y'all can see that, but just how I like it. Wrist is sore. It's fixing to storm bad, literally. So, a couple things. Personal update. As you can see, I am nice and erect. Feeling a lot better from surgery. Everything's healing like it should. Nerve pain I was having is significantly better, reduced. And speaking of it, there's the rain right there. So yeah, I'm feeling better. It's still a little tender and sore in the back. I'm still on restrictions and can't lift anything over 15 pounds and no bending or twisting and all that kind of good stuff. And still got to be careful, because if I move just right, it'll poke at me and let me know, hey, I ain't ready for you to do that yet. So, but all in all, think I'm hitting that sharp upward curve of feeling better and healing. So once again, thank you for all your comments and prayers. Appreciate all that. What else were we going to talk about? Oh yeah, this is just something that popped into my head and I wanted to go over and put out there. You know, I'm show you all a lot of stuff on here, and I've said ad nauseum, you know, what my channel is about. I don't really do reviews like typical review channels will do. I don't do a lot of real in-depth testing on things. I just get stuff that I either know I like or I think I'm going to like, and that I think y'all might like, and try it out and see how it does and see if it's something I want to say, hey guys, I like this, it's good. All within the context of the armed prepared citizen, all within that arena. So I think what I've decided to call it, for lack of a better word, what I do when it comes to guns and gear and equipment and whatnot, I don't really test or review it, I just evaluate it. I just evaluate it to see, do I like it? Do I think it's any good? Do I think it works? And do I think it fits in the role of an armed prepared citizen? So that's what I'm going to be looking at it from here forward, you know. You know, may seem trivial, but I think it helps focus things, especially when people are watching the channel and want to know what I'm doing. I ain't testing stuff. I ain't evaluating stuff. There's plenty of channels out there. I am evaluating. I'm not reviewing things. Sorry, I misspoke. There's plenty of channels out there that do all the testing and reviewing and all that kind of stuff. If that's what you want to see, then no point in me really doing it. It's already been done for the most part. I'm just evaluating it to see for myself, does it fit the armed prepared citizen? Does it work? Do I like it? In a, for me, realistic and pragmatic way, right? So, I'm not picking on this, I'm just using it as an example because I love the channel and I love the guy. But Robski at AKOU, when he does his 5,000 round torture test on AKs and ARs, that's awesome and I love it. to see what kind of abuse a gun can take. That's not something I'm going to do. Oh, I got something in my eye. There we go. It's not something I'm going to do because A, he's already done it, typically. No use repeating the same thing. And B, from a realistic standpoint, I'm not going to put 5,000 rounds through a gun in as short a time period as he does. And I would garner to say most of you, most armed prepared citizens, aren't either. Now, some of you that's got the money to afford the ammo and afford the range time and don't have a lot of other obligations, hey, maybe you will. But for me, 5,000 rounds through a gun, that's like a year for me to get done. And in some cases, maybe even longer. All right? So I'm just evaluating stuff to see if I like it and if it fits for the armed prepared citizen. I hope that makes sense to y'all. I hope that makes a little better understanding of what I'm trying to do. Because it's as much for me as it is for y'all. I'm just kind of bringing you along with me, and then afterwards, hey, here's what I like. So going forward, I hope we kind of keep that context in mind. What else? Current event stuff. Virginia. Keep your eyeballs peeled on Virginia, especially as we get up to the 20th. I've been talking with friends, some in Virginia, some with connections in and around Virginia. Some of what I've been told and found out I don't want to mention, partly because I've got no way of verifying it, and even the people that told me said they have no concrete way of verifying it to me. It's just what they heard through some fairly official channels due to the nature of their either employment or contacts. But if what they're hearing and saying does pan out, it's concerning. It's very concerning, and I would encourage everybody who attends the rally and everything in Richmond on the 20th to be very careful, be very aware, and just be careful. I'll just leave it at that. State level stuff. I'm going to keep hounding this. The state level is where things are going to keep getting pushed at. There's been another assault weapons ban that's garnered attention that's being pushed in Georgia. I don't think that one's going to really get any ground and grow anywhere. But you never know. I know here in Florida they're trying to get a constitutional amendment put on the ballot for everyone to vote on that would change the state constitution and implement a very sweeping assault weapons ban, which is it's a gun ban. It's ridiculous to think it's anything other than that. I don't think that one's going to get enough traction, although it's gotten a lot of support and following from, once again, outside people leaving failed states and coming to our state and bringing their failed crap with them and trying to do it all over again, hoping for different results. Somewhere I remember reading in some book, I think it might have been the dictionary, where it talked about the definition of insanity was repeating the same actions and expecting different results. So extrapolate from that what you will. What else is going on? I guess the big thing coming up. Got Christmas right around the corner. And I'm sure I'll do it again, but Merry Christmas to all of you. Hope you have an awesome one. Hope you get to spend plenty of time with your family and friends first and foremost. And then hope you get everything on your wish list from Santa. I am lining up stuff for January and February. I've got a little event that'll be taking place in January that I'm going to try to get some footage from for y'all. I have got some stuff to put videos up on. I've got the new 14.7 inch chrome lined Palmetto State Armory AR build that I got to get video done for y'all on. Hope to get that done in January and February. Got the Century Visca AK to do video on for you. I've got a little something else, and it's right here underneath the edge of the camera where you can't see it. I got something else to do video on for you. Sorry, just looking at updates over here. They keep flashing up, making sure nothing pertinent in the news coming along. Oh, speaking of that, President Trump was impeached, as I predicted that he would be. I got to watch, while I was trying to get some work done, a good portion of the House floor debate the day of the impeachment vote. And I'll be honest, and I've got a pretty level head. My grandmother and my mother always have said that I've always been very much like my grandfather. I can maintain a nice, even keel, world exploding around me. I can stay calm, cool, and collected. But there's a line, and once that line's crossed, the switch gets flipped, and there's not a whole lot of gray area with me. I tend to go scorched earth. And I'm going to tell you, the Democrats were getting real close to crossing my scorched earth line, figuratively speaking. I do not understand for the life of me how elected people, elected representatives of the people, can stand on the floor of the federal government House of Representatives and straight up lie through their teeth. I do not grasp that concept. How can they do that? And how do they do it and get away with it and no one calls them out on it? There's no repercussions for it. They pay no penalty for standing there lying, and everybody knows they're lying. They know they're lying. The Republicans know they're lying. You and I know they're lying. And there's nothing done. They sit there and smile through it the whole way. It absolutely drives me bonkers. And here's where I'm going to get a little irritated, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you ahead of time I'm going to get irritated, because I do every time I talk about this, and it happened while I was watching it, and fortunately my wife was here, and she's pretty good at soothing the savage beast, as it were. I think it should be a federal law, maybe even a constitutional amendment, that if you are an elected representative of the people in the federal government, such as any federal position, be it a congressperson, a senator, president, vice president, his cabinet, anybody in a federal position, if you ever state in any manner, shape, form, or fashion that we are a democracy, you should be immediately drug into the street and publicly tarred and feathered and permanently removed from that office that you hold. Right then, on the spot. Every single time they say that we're a democracy, that needs to happen. We are a representative constitutional republic, and there is a stark difference. It's not just semantics. Democracy is straight up mob rule. Now, as I've said before, the Founding Fathers deplored and loathed democracy. That's what they wanted to stay away from, which is why they went to such great lengths and it took so long to ratify the Constitution and put everything together that they did, because they wanted a constitutional republic. We are a republic, not a democracy. And if you don't understand what the differences are, I'm not going to try to go into it here with you. Go educate yourself on it. It's a huge, huge difference. It absolutely chafes my hide when people, Congress people, stand on the floor of the House of Representatives and talk about our democracy, our democracy, our democracy. You know what? Screw you and your democracy. If you want your democracy, go to friggin' some country somewhere else that has democracy. But get out of here. Leave. Go away. Bye. Free to believe that whatever you want. Free to like whatever you want. Just go like it somewhere else, because it ain't here. This is a little treat today. Some of my good friends got me a bag of really strong Black Rifle Coffee Company coffee. So, you know, the caffeine I can get right now. Okay, woosah. Bring it back down a notch. Yeah, it's guys. This crap's going downhill fast. And here's something that concerns me. The president's been impeached, right? Now, Pelosi, a pox be upon her, is screwing around, not wanting to send the bill over to the Senate. And, you know, the Senate can basically do one of two things once they get it. They can just immediately hold a straight up and down vote to convict or not. Or they can actually have an in-depth, very in-depth trial. Call witnesses, examine people, the whole 9 yards. And I think that that's why Pelosi's trying to stall, because she is scared that they won't just do an up and down vote real quick, that they'll actually hold an in-depth trial. Excuse me. And call witnesses and question people, etc. To me, she ought not to have a choice in the matter. You passed it, the bill's done, it ought to immediately go to the Senate with no control on her part or anybody else's part. But alas, I don't make the rules. Here's what concerns me. There are a lot of, I'm trying to think of the right way to say this. You have a lot of your fellow Americans of voting age who have virtually zero grasp of how our government, our Constitution, and our country works. I've already seen it. There's a lot of them that don't understand why the president's been impeached. Why is he not out of office yet? They do not understand that he has to go to trial in the Senate, or at least vote in the Senate to convict. And if the Senate doesn't vote to convict him, then it's all null and void. The president stays in office and continues to do his thing. Yes, he was impeached in the House, but he was not convicted in the Senate. Therefore, he stays in office, does his job, can be reelected, etc., etc. But they don't understand that second part. And I'm really afraid that if the Senate doesn't convict, which I don't think they will, they shouldn't. I don't think they'd have enough votes, even if some of the rhinos in the Senate switch sides. I don't think they've got quite enough to pull it off. But you never know. Stranger things have happened. But if they don't convict him, and he stays president and runs for re-election, I really wonder how many of those wacko SOCOMs, snowflakes, Antifa types, how many of them are going to feel like that's the last straw, that they've got no other recourse than to go violent because of their ignorance, and in some cases willful stupidity? So I say all that to say, watch the situation close, and let's hope that some of these people get educated and don't get prematurely triggered and start doing something stupid. So there's that. Now, much as I said, that's exactly what I figured was going to happen. The president was going to get impeached, yada yada, and we're going to go from there. So enough on all that. That's probably enough rambling for this one. I will close it out here. If anything new and exciting comes up, I'll try to weigh in as I can. Other than that, you guys take care. I'm sure I'll probably speak to you again before Christmas, but I'll go ahead and say it one more time. Wish you all a very Merry Christmas, and we'll catch you again in the next one. See you later.